Hi, I'm May. Come make some musical electronics with me. Let's get intellectual. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Psychedelic Cherry. I'm May, and do I still need to say that? I feel weird. There's a small group of us. Today I wanted to take you guys through my songwriting process because if I haven't mentioned before, this past year has been almost entirely devoted to me writing and finishing a animated feature-length musical that I came up with and have been working on. Now, animation is the most expensive thing in film, and so will this ever get made, or could I afford to do it independently? Probably not. I imagine walking into the pitch room and saying, it's an animation. And, whoa. Hear me out. Animated, zombie, musical, workplace, comedy, feature length. I'll see myself out. Because I don't think this is... Animation is just expensive, and it's a very weird... It's a zombie film, but it's not about the apocalypse in any way. But I love the story, and I've worked very hard on it. This musical, because it's animated and lighthearted, is a big Hollywood old school numbers where it's full orchestra. There's a lot of jazz content in it because I thought that fit with the lightheartedness of the film and the sort of comedic grandiosity of the concept. So without beefing it up too much, today I'm going to walk you through lyrical writing, and then plotting out the melody in Pro Tools, and then we're even going to record some scratch vocals, and that means me. and then I'm going to arrange strings, brass, etc., whatever it needs. So first things first, lyrics. The concept is, this is the big, moody, morose last number where the main character's antagonist is having a sort of existential crisis where they're about to win. The bad guy is about to win, but they're having a seed of doubt, and they start to sing to themselves, "We're not so different, you and I." And they try and justify that this person would have done the same thing to them. But so in this song, conceptually, we need to both feel this person's pain, understand their motivation, and then we also, though, need moments where they ask themselves questions that cause doubt. I know that my line is, "We're not so different, you and I," and I think I want to start each verse, each stanza that way. That could be a terrible trap to set for myself, but we're gonna do it. So here we go. Is in the standard verse structure that I've got set up is going to be her justifying to herself that they're very similar, just on opposite sides of the same coin. Ooh, opposite sides of the same coin. That's it was a trap, and now I'm stuck, so. Okay, so I think I have at least a good first draft lyric, and I've gone ahead and just typed it all onto my laptop because that'll be easier to scroll through when I record the scratch vocals. You're not going to hear me turning pages. No. So you'll get to hear some of it when we get to recording the vocals. So let's get to the computer, start plotting out the melody and basic chord structure underneath it, and then we'll track some vocals. Cool. So now what I like to do is go ahead and just render this out, print it to an audio track for now, and then hide this MIDI track so that it's not taking up space, CPU space. I don't have a lot of RAM on this computer, and it really can take up space to have a lot of MIDI going. So I'm gonna print this to audio, and then I'll hide this track, make it inactive, but we can always come back to it later. Okay, so now we've got the melody in there. We're gonna do the same exact thing, but with chords. So this is a great moment where we can kind of carve out some really beautiful chord choices underneath this melody and really start to figure out what the tone of the song is. Right, and then we've got the bridge over here. And then a little flourish. And then it repeats. All right, so now that we have some basic, very, very basic piano, I didn't even bother quantizing it at this point because I know I'm gonna go back in and mess with it. But we have the basic piano and we have the melody. Now is where I like to go ahead and record some scratch vocals before I get to putting in strings and things like that, because it really helps me look at if there's a part where I need the timing to change, swelling or a breath that needs to be taken a bit longer. I will know that when I go to sing this song. And if there are places like that, I want to go back into the MIDI piano track and move things around. So the less tracks I need to move around, if that is to happen, the better, which is why I like to do scratch vocals right now. So let's record. We're not so different, you and I. It's all too easy just to vilify what I'm about to do to you. You know you would have done it too, without the batting of an eye. But then you have a sort of way that I would kill for any day to pay. Oh, we gotta back that up. We're not so different, you and I. Okay, so obviously you're not gonna get it right in the first take, so I'm gonna do multiple playlist so I can do a lot of takes of my scratch vocals, and then we'll comp them together to get a decent take. Now, of course, I'm not playing Trudy, at least I don't think I am. So you know, these are scratch vocals. They're more just a placeholder so that whoever gets cast can understand what they're doing. But in the meantime, it's nice to have a really solid take. So I like to do full takes. If I mess up in there, that's okay, because there'll be another run through. So I'm just gonna do a few takes and then we can move on. All right, so I went ahead and comped some vocals into one good solid take that we can use for now. And now it is time to start doing some orchestration. So I typically will do brass first because it has a rhythmic quality to it, and just plot from the bass brass up. So tuba, and then trombone, and then trumpet. And then after I've done my brass, I add my strings. But I don't think I'm gonna have brass in this. It's kind of a morose song. So we're gonna go straight to strings, and we'll see if we come back to something else. So quick to sever all our dreams, so sure we'd find another way for the death. And then, of course, the bridge, which sounds like this. Really try, we're not so different. Yeah. Then you had a sort of way that I would kill for any day, a bravery that can't be swayed, the human nature I betray. And then we bring in a higher melody. So different, you and I. Or is it just that we're both terrified? If desperation is our creed, then our bond that should be I'll probably add like one really low cello, just doubling the melody at the very end there, just to give a little bit more depth to that outro. So that's it. Those are the strings, and I actually think I might leave it at that. I'm considering doing some guitar at some point, maybe some light picking, like this. You're not so different, you and I. It's all too easy, right? Just to vilify what I'm about to do to you. You know you would have done it too, without the batting of an eye. We haven't decided if that's something I want to do. I usually, at this point, if it feels like a complete song, before I consider adding more instrumentation or orchestration, I like to sit on it for a while. So right now that's the song, and that's the last song in the musical. I'm sure there'll be some scoring to do, but so that's it. Oh, I also wanted to say that I never remember to tell you guys that I have an Etsy shop, 2 Etsy shops actually. The first one is called The Psychedelic Cherry, and it features my t-shirt designs, my pin designs. Been trying to gain some skills as an illustrator in my free time, and then I also have a shop called Garage Quest, and Garage Quest is devoted solely to making D&D themed t-shirts. So if you play, go check that out. And if you order a pin from the Psychedelic Cherry, your thank you card will have a cool self-portrait of me. So please check it out. It's all the funds to that really do go help support me getting this musical made, and I'd really appreciate it. So that's it. Subscribe and bell and YouTube tubes. Seacrest out.